So I wanted to discuss now the topic of counterculture as I see it, um, and what I'm doing as. I took inspiration for what I'm doing from John Milius. Um, John Milius wrote and directed Red Dawn, Conan the Barbarian, and several other movies that I love. He grew up in the era of counterculture, and he took their peace symbol and drew little, you know, engines and tail fins on it and made it look like a B-52 and wrote Apocalypse Now on it. He was counterculturing to their counterculture. I guess what I'm saying is that's what we should do. The people that are in charge right now are 100% the grandchildren of the hippies. The hippie is an admirable creature. All he wants to do is have fun and fuck and smoke dope and do whatever. But the thing that doesn't enter into the hippie's mind is that we exist, is that there are those of us that long for conquest. There are those of us that long for something more. And because they don't have that motivation, they will never understand us. I'm a conqueror. I am much the way I am and as crazy as I am because I am in a society now that does not value me as a person because there is nothing to conquer. You've done conquered it all. And now you just fight and squabble over the fucking scraps from the table when you've forgotten that you had a God given right to something better. Their playhouse is burning down. What I'm suggesting to you is become a monk, build a cabin, grow your own food, keep your own animals, keep a woman if you can. It's harder than it sounds. This is what you should do. And once you have this and have your own little thing out in the woods, you should then start having kids with that woman. And you should have a lot of fucking kids. And you should teach them to be like this. Be fruitful and multiply. If they, if they hate the Bible so much, I'm going to start using it against them. I think they hate the Bible so much because they are Satan. Or they worship him, one or the other. I'm not even talking about Satan like Satan from the Bible. I'm talking about Satan as in the idea of evil in the world. Like, half of you people don't understand when you hear tribal people talk, how they talk. I speak in a mix of the two because I like it. And I like sounding a bit like Yoda. That's my own weirdness. Okay? I'm like, you should never tell someone something in a way that it is easy for them to understand if it is something that should not be easy for them to understand. If it's something that they are going to struggle with and fight with their whole life to understand, it doesn't help them to show them the thing at the end. You nudge them in the directions that they need to be nudged to find this stuff out for themselves. This is how you deal with people. This is how I deal with people, anyway. People think I'm kind of crazy because I've done ludicrous shit, but I nudged people. I changed people. This is the power of nudging. This is the power of countering the counterculture. This is the power of being a voice in the wilderness telling them that, you're fucking ridiculous. That's what this is now. This is a mix of like John Milius, Conan shit with like Red Dawn and stand-up comedy. They are fucking ridiculous. Did you see the goddamn training video for the Navy where they're telling them about pronouns and inclusivity? Like, I'm a trans woman, okay? I get it. And I get that it would be nice if we have trans people in the Navy that they don't get fucking bullied or harassed. But that video is a fucking mockery of everything the United States Navy stands for. And as someone who has a family history of serving in said organization. Like, let me run you down the list. My father was a Marine. My brother was in the Navy. My grandfather was a Marine. My great grandfather was in the Navy. My great grandfather on the other side worked for the Army during World War II. He was a pattern maker. He made the patterns that made the molds to make the bombs. And I think that's pretty fucking cool. Point of all that is, fuck them. The Navy is built on 200 or 300 years of fucking tradition for a reason, because it works. The Navy's business is not inclusivity. The Navy's business is killing people. Period. They have forgotten the faces of their fathers. They have forgotten the faces of their grandfathers, and it's offensive to me. It should be offensive to you. Why is it not? Start countering their culture with your own counterculture. Find the things that drive them insane and do them. You know, if it's being an American and mowing your lawn, then do that. If it's being outside of their control, outside of their banks, then do that. That's what I'm choosing to do. Like, there's many ways to fight this fight. One of the best things you could do is have children and teach them to think like you. Breed. For whatever reason, they're waging a war on our population. We need soldiers. Your children will be fighting future wars. There are enemies at the gates. In ancient Rome, parents would tell their children that Hannibal is at Portus. Hannibal's at the gates. They would tell them this so that they would behave and be good little children and go to bed. Hannibal is at Portus.